a couple of the do's and don'ts of when you're actually looking at launching a product. So we're going to go over a couple of them today. And then I'm also going to be going over a strategy to find products in the gifting niche that works nearly every single time, right? I started doing that. Well, actually, I got into bundling products initially, and then I made the shift to gifting products. And now I made the shift to kind of more brand building and different types of products. So I'm going to share a strategy with you that works very, very well. And I'm looking forward to that actually a lot. All right. So one of the first things is when we're thinking about an actual product and whether or not we want to select the product, and especially if we're thinking about selling it on Amazon, right? Remember, at the end of the day, as I've mentioned before, the biggest thing is how different is your product to everyone else's, and also how easily can you actually get into the market, right? And who is your competition? That's a big thing. So if we look at this particular product here, so this is a shower liner, and we go down. Now, a couple of things here is this is what you want to watch out for, right? When you're thinking about your product and you go and put your keyword into Amazon, have a look for these things. And if you start to see these, it's probably not going to be an easy product to actually launch on Amazon, right? So one of the first things is if you start to notice that a lot of the sellers have a lot of variations, right? So you can see this one has 7 sizes, right? This one here has 24 sizes. You can see here, here's the amount of color variations. So it has 16, right? This one here, it says also another 6 colors, 12 colors, 18 colors. This one's only got a 1 color, right? But if you come into Amazon and you're looking at getting into a niche that has a lot of variations and a lot of sizes, unless you have a really, really big capital, right? Unless you have a lot of money to actually put towards that particular idea that you have, it's probably not a great idea to get involved in it. Now, you want to be the person that has the patterns and has the sizes when no one else does, right? So it's the other way around. You don't want to get into a niche where everyone has the sizes and everyone already has all the colors, right? Ideally, when you get into an actual niche or a product, you want to be the one that has, imagine you had this listing here, right? And you were the only one that had all these colors, all these patterns, all these sizes, and everyone was just selling one of each, right? That is almost a surety in terms of you becoming a bestseller. Now, if you were to get into a niche like this from the get-go right now, you couldn't launch 1 or 2 products, right? You'd need to launch a lot of different products to even compete. Now, that's going to cost you a lot of money, and it's still going to be a test on whether or not people would like your patterns over someone else's, right? So that's kind of one of the biggest things to ensure you look out for, and you're very, very aware of that. So I like to get into niches where there's maybe only 1 or 2 variations, right? And then I like to come in with 8 or 9 variations. Now, when you're first getting started, your budget might not allow you to get 9 variations straight away, right? And that's fine, but don't go into a niche where it's already saturated with variations and sizes, right? It's a very, very expensive test to do that. Another thing is you don't want to go into a niche that is very hard to, they all look very similar, right? So if we were to have a quick look at all of these hero images, which are hero images, basically the first image on the Amazon listing, if we were to have a look at that, we can see they all look fairly similar. All right. So then we go down to here and let's have a look. So you can see they all look fairly similar. I mean, this one here has done a good job with their hero image, just making kind of look a little bit different. But again, it's hard to differentiate yourself when they all look like this, right? So you have to really come up with a really great way to differentiate. But you can see they're all doing a fairly good job. And another thing they all have in their actual hero image is they all actually have the keyword stain and soap scum. So this one has stain and soap scum resistant shower curtain liner. So you can see, and they also have the keyword here, shower curtain liner. Now, so that tells me they're fairly advanced sellers. one of the things that I always tell people to do is to add your actual keyword in the hero image itself, right? So that's another thing that you want to ensure you do, right? So by adding the keyword into the hero image itself, when someone types in shower curtain liner, they know that your product is exactly what they were looking for, right? So you can see a lot of these guys have pretty much done that, right? A lot of them have done that. It looks kind of, basically looks almost done to death in terms of this particular product, right? Looks very, very saturated. You can see that all of the sellers have really good hero images. They will have the keywords in there. They have so many different colors, so many different sizes, you know, and it's really going to be a hard market to get into something like this, right? And that's a pretty cool video, that one there, Bigfoot, right? So again, so one of the things that you want to do is you want to get into a space that doesn't have many variations, doesn't have many sizes already, so there isn't many sellers that have that. You want to ensure that you can actually do something different when it comes to the hero images itself. So as soon as you see sellers that have the keyword in their hero image, that tells you that that seller is actually very well versed when it comes to selling on Amazon. They really know what they're doing, right? So you don't want to really look at that. Another thing also is one of the brands that we looked at last week, I think it was called Smart Sweets, or the week before. You'll notice that they actually had a lot of real estate on the page one, right? If you typed in candy, they had a lot of real estate. So it means that they had a lot of variations all over page one. So that's another warning sign also. If you see an actual brand and that brand has listings everywhere, they have products all over page one, again, probably just stay away from that, because someone is already into that space and is trying to do what you want to do, right? So hopefully that is clear.